Hello everyone, my name is Valerie and today I will be discussing foster care and prison entry. How are foster care children at risk of prison entry when emerging into adulthood? There's a number of factors to why foster children are at risk. However, today I will specifically be going over the three factors on the screen: foster care system, environment and experiences, and the juvenile justice system. So the foster care system. The foster care system is built to provide aid to children as they continue to grow as the youth of our society. The goal is to provide a safe, stable, and nurturing environment for kids who are unable to be with their families, whether it be because of child abuse, neglect, the passing of a guardian, the list goes on. However, the system is extremely flawed, and its weak support system allows children to partake in risky behaviors and enter themselves into dangerous situations. Because the foster care system lacks the support that foster children so desperately need, these kids, they find themselves looking for support elsewhere by joining gangs and committing crimes. The system's inability to provide the necessary care and guidance needed for a child to transition into adulthood ultimately sets them up for negative outcomes, some being criminal involvement and homelessness. The environment a child is placed in and their experiences are significant to why foster children are at risk of prison entry. To start off, group homes. When foster children are placed into group homes where there's a mix of children from different backgrounds, they adapt survival tactics and behaviors that they view are necessary for their survival. This could be running away, selling or using drugs, truancy, and other illegal activities. However, if a child were to be placed into a foster family instead of a group home, it actually reduces the foster child's risk of ending up in the justice system by 2.5 times. Speaking of foster families, foster parents and caretakers are important when it comes to providing a safe and healthy home environment for a foster child. Now, foster parents' qualifications and ability to uphold the guardian's position of a foster child is crucial. Unfortunately, not all foster parents can provide such guidance and care and discipline needed. Conflicts within the foster households are quite often, and caretakers lack the ability to discipline and de-escalate these situations, and they often resort to law enforcement. However, most times these conflicts can be resolved with less extreme remedies instead of resulting to law enforcement. Involving the police in such small altercations could be traumatic, and it puts the foster child at risk of arrest and entering juvenile justice system. Now, another form of environment that plays a factor in putting foster children at risk is actually our society. In the eyes of society, foster children are labeled as broken, deviant, and high risk. When people hear something enough, they start to believe it. It's similar to when you tell a lie so many times that you actually start believing it yourself. Now, in the cases of these foster kids, they begin to believe what society has to say about them. And before they even know it, they start to display these deviant acts and behaviors, succumbing to the very label society has put upon them. The juvenile justice system. According to the Juvenile Law Center, 90% of foster children will come into contact with the juvenile justice system before leaving child welfare. As I've mentioned before in the previous slides, most times When a child becomes involved in the juvenile justice system, they're likely to be involved in the criminal justice system as an adult. And when a child comes into touch with the juvenile justice system anytime during their time in foster care, they are considered dual status youth. Dual status youths have a harder time coming into a promising adulthood because of their involvement with both of the systems. They often receive harder sanctions, fewer probation sentences, even as a first-time offender. Another challenge for dual status youth is their increased mental and emotional health issues. The persistent gaps in service provision to address their needs are due to lack of coordination between juvenile justice and child welfare professionals. Now, to wrap things up, these factors explain how foster children are at risk of prison entry when emerging into adulthood. As stated in the previous slides, the foster care system is flawed. It provides children a poor transition to adulthood. The environment and experiences of a foster child causes trauma and exposes them to the justice system. And lastly, juvenile justice system involvement highly increases the chances of incarceration as an adult. It's concluded that these factors are the reasons why foster children are at risk of prison entry. Thank you.